What if I told you that the very moments you thought were destroying you were actually designing you? What if every tear, every sleepless night, every failure, every closed door, and every betrayal was not life's way of ending your story, but its way of rewriting it into something far greater than you ever imagined? You see, setbacks do not come to define us, they come to refine us. They are not the final chapter, they are the turning point, and the truth is, setbacks don't break you, they build you. Think about it. When everything is going right, when success feels smooth and effortless, we rarely stop to grow. Comfort zones feel safe, but they also keep us stagnant. It is only when life throws us into the fire of challenges that we are forced to stretch, to push, to rise, and to discover who we truly are. A setback is nothing more than life's way of shaking us awake, telling us there is more inside us than we've been living out. And though it feels painful, though it feels heavy, though it feels unfair, it is shaping a version of you that can handle far greater battles and far bigger victories. When you fail, you learn. When you are rejected, you build resilience. When you lose something, you discover what truly matters. The lessons you gather in the valley are the very tools that will help you climb your next mountain. That's why setbacks are never wasted unless you choose to waste them. What feels like the end is actually a doorway to a new beginning. Think back to the times when you were broken, when you thought you couldn't go on. Did it destroy you? Or did you survive? The fact that you are still here, breathing, listening, means that you are stronger than the pain that tried to bury you. It didn't break you, it built you. And each time you stood up again, each time you pushed forward, each time you decided to fight instead of surrender, you were being built into someone more powerful than before. The strongest people are not the ones who never fell. They are the ones who fell 100 times and still rose on the 100. And, first, setbacks are not proof of weakness, they are proof of courage. To keep going when everything in you wants to quit, to keep moving when your legs feel heavy, to keep believing when your heart is tired. That is strength in its purest form. You see, setbacks strip us down. They take away the masks, the illusions, the false securities we hold on to. They expose us to our raw, unfiltered selves, and in that vulnerability, we discover something extraordinary: resilience. That resilience is not something you can buy, not something you can fake, not something you can inherit. It is only forged in the fires of disappointment and failure. It is earned by standing in the storm and refusing to be moved. There is power in being knocked down, because when you rise again, you rise with wisdom, you rise with experience, you rise with scars that remind you of your strength, and no one can take that away from you. A setback is simply preparation for a comeback that will inspire not just you, but everyone who sees you fight your way through. Let's be real, life will never go exactly as planned. Dreams will be delayed. Doors will close, people will leave, plans will collapse, and in those moments you will feel like everything you've worked for is crumbling in your hands. But those moments are not designed to stop you, they are designed to redirect you. Sometimes the path you envisioned is too small for the greatness inside you. Sometimes what you lost was never meant to stay. Sometimes the rejection was simply protection. Every setback is a lesson in disguise. It teaches you patience when things take longer than expected. It teaches you perseverance when the road is steeper than you imagined. It teaches you humility when life reminds you that nothing is guaranteed. And it teaches you faith in yourself, faith in your ability to endure, faith that even when you don't see the light, it is still there waiting for you. Setbacks are like weights in the gym. At first they feel heavy, painful, impossible to lift. But the more you push against them, the stronger you become. Muscles are built through resistance, and so is character. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without challenge, there is no strength. Without setbacks, there is no foundation for your future. Some of the greatest victories in life are born out of the hardest struggles. The people who achieve extraordinary success are not the ones who never stumbled. They are the ones who kept standing back up. Every no they heard fueled their determination. Every failure taught them a new way to succeed. Every setback built the resilience that allowed them to reach heights they once thought impossible. So when you face setbacks, don't ask why me. Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? How is this shaping me? What strength is being born in me right now? Because the moment you shift your perspective, the setback loses its power to break you. It becomes a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. Remember, the road to greatness is never a straight line. It is a path of twists and turns, of ups and downs, of setbacks and breakthroughs. And while you cannot control the storms, you can control how you navigate them. You can choose to let the storm sink you, or you can choose to let it strengthen your sails. What separates those who rise from those who remain stuck is mindset. Some see setbacks as proof that they are not good enough, while others see them as proof that they are being refined for something greater. Some let setbacks keep them down, while others use them as fuel to climb higher. It is not the setback itself that determines your destiny. It is your response to it. Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. To the outside world, it looks buried, hidden, forgotten, but underground, something powerful is happening. The pressure, the darkness, the weight of the soil, it is not suffocating the seed. It is preparing it to break through the ground and grow into something strong, something alive, something beautiful. That's what setbacks do. They bury you for a season, but only so you can rise with greater strength. When you shift your view of setbacks from destruction to construction, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the architect of your future. Every brick life throws at you becomes a piece of the foundation you are building. And the structure that emerges from those setbacks is unshakable, because it was built from storms and fire. There will be moments when the pain feels unbearable, when the weight feels crushing, when giving up feels easier than holding on. In those moments, remember this: you have survived every setback you've ever faced so far, and that survival is proof that you can handle what's in front of you now. You are stronger than you think, you are braver than you believe, and you are more capable than you give yourself credit for. The beauty of setbacks is that they strip away the unnecessary and bring out the essential. They force you to dig deep, to uncover strengths you didn't know you had, to grow in ways you never expected. They remind you that success is not about never falling, it is about always rising. So when life knocks you down, don't just get back up as the same person. Get back up stronger, get back up wiser, get back up more determined. Because setbacks are not the end of your story. They are the raw material from which your comeback will be built, and the comeback will always be greater than the setback. Pain is not punishment. Pain is not proof that you are unworthy. Pain is raw energy waiting to be transformed. Every wound you carry, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every disappointment is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. The truth is, the moments of deepest pain are the very moments that hold the greatest potential for your growth. What you choose to do with that pain will determine who you become. Most people run from pain, they bury it, they numb it, they pretend it doesn't exist, but pain does not disappear simply because you ignore it. Pain is a message, pain is a signal, it is life's way of whispering, or sometimes screaming, that there is more inside you, that you are meant for more, that something has to change. And if you learn to listen to that pain, to lean into it instead of avoiding it, you will discover that it is a powerful source of strength. Every scar tells a story, every tear carries a lesson, every sleepless night is shaping a stronger version of you. But only if you decide to transform it. You can allow pain to paralyze you, to shrink you, to define you, or you can harness it, redirect it, and turn it into power. The choice is yours. Pain has a strange way of unlocking hidden potential. Think about the times in your life when you were pushed to your limits. Maybe you were rejected, maybe you failed, maybe you lost someone or something you thought you couldn't live without. In those moments, you thought it was over. But then something inside you shifted. You found yourself digging deeper. You found yourself discovering a strength you didn't know you had. That strength would have never been revealed without the pain. The greatest breakthroughs are often born out of the greatest breakdowns. Pain forces you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask hard questions. Who am I? What do I truly want? What am I willing to fight for? And in that questioning, in that discomfort, you begin to uncover the core of who you are. You strip away the illusions, the lies you tell yourself, the limitations others have placed on you. Pain, when used correctly, is a cleansing fire. It burns away what is false and leaves behind only what is real. But you must choose transformation, because pain by itself doesn't guarantee power. It can destroy you if you let it. It can harden your heart, make you bitter, make you give up on life. Or it can do the opposite. It can make you resilient. It can make you compassionate. It can make you unstoppable. The difference lies in your decision to rise. Turning pain into power is not about pretending you're not hurting. It's not about covering your wounds with a smile or pretending to be invincible. No, it's about acknowledging the pain fully, feeling it, facing it, and then deciding that it will not control you. It's about standing in the middle of the storm and saying, I will not let this define me. I will let this refine me. When you learn to channel pain, it becomes fuel. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has walked through pain. They took the rejection letters, the closed doors, the failures, and they used them as motivation. They turned heartbreak into hunger. They turned loss into determination. They turned pain into power. Think of pain as energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. The hurt you feel, the anger that burns inside you, the sadness that weighs on your chest, all of it is energy. You can waste that energy by complaining, by blaming, by staying stuck. Or you can channel it into action. You can pour it into building, into creating, into fighting for the life you deserve. When you take the energy of pain and redirect it, it becomes unstoppable momentum. Some of the strongest warriors you will ever meet are the ones who have suffered the most. Their strength did not come from comfort, it came from hardship. Their wisdom was not born out of ease, it was born out of struggle. Their courage was not inherited, it was forged in the fire of pain, and if they can do it, so can you. Do not fear pain, fear being unchanged by it, fear letting it go to waste, fear letting it turn you cold and hopeless. Because pain is inevitable, but growth is optional. Everyone suffers, everyone faces setbacks. Everyone has wounds, but not everyone uses those wounds to rise higher. Not everyone decides to turn pain into power. That is a choice only you can make. When you are hurting, you stand at a crossroads. One path is to give up, to sink deeper into despair, to let pain consume you. The other path is to rise, to use the very thing that tried to break you as the reason you become unbreakable. And the irony of it all is that the same pain that could have destroyed you can become the foundation of your greatest strength. Look at fire. Fire can burn you, but it can also warm you. It can consume, but it can also illuminate. The difference lies in how you use it. Pain is the same. You can let it burn you, or you can let it light your path. When you start seeing pain as a gift, everything changes. Yes, it's an uncomfortable gift. Yes, it's one you never asked for, but it's a gift nonetheless, because it carries within it the power to transform you in ways nothing else can. Pain humbles you, pain strengthens you, pain awakens parts of your spirit that comfort never could. Your scars are not signs of weakness, they are signs of survival. They are proof that you went through the fire and came out on the other side. And those scars can either be a source of shame, or they can be a source of power. They can remind you of what broke you, or they can remind you of what you overcame. Turning pain into power is about rewriting the narrative. It's about taking the same story and flipping its meaning. Instead of saying, this pain ruined me, you say, this pain revealed me. Instead of saying, this broke me, you say, this built me. Instead of saying, this ended me, you say, this awakened me. There will always be people who doubt you, who reject you, who hurt you. There will always be circumstances that don't go your way. There will always be moments when life feels unfair, but you cannot control what happens to you. You can only control how you respond, and the most powerful response you can give is to transform pain into power. Take the heartbreak and use it as motivation to love yourself more deeply. Take the rejection and use it as fire to prove yourself not to them, but to you. Take the failures and let them teach you how to succeed. Take the losses and let them remind you how precious life is, how important it is to live fully. Every ounce of pain can be recycled into purpose. And when you do this, when you rise from the ashes of your pain, you don't just change your own life, you become a beacon for others. Your story becomes a source of inspiration for those who are still trapped in their suffering. You show them that it's possible, that no matter how deep the wound, no matter how heavy the burden, it can be turned into strength. You will look back one day and realize that the very pain you once cursed was the very thing that propelled you forward. The very nights you cried yourself to sleep were the very nights that gave birth to your strength. The very moments that broke your heart were the very moments that opened it wide enough to hold compassion for others. The pain didn't destroy you. It built the person you were always meant to be. So, when pain comes, don't run. Don't hide, don't numb it away, face it, feel it, and then transform it. Let it ignite a fire inside you so strong that nothing can put it out. Let it push you to levels you never thought you could reach. Let it shape you into someone who no longer fears the storms of life, because you know that every storm carries with it the power to make you stronger. Pain is inevitable, growth is optional, and the choice is yours. Turn the pain into power, use it as fuel, let it become the reason you rise higher, the reason you fight harder, the reason you live louder. Because when you master the art of transforming pain into power, You don't just survive, you thrive. The version of you that rebuilds is not the same as the one that was broken. When life knocks you down, it is not asking you to get back up as who you once were. It is calling you to rise as someone greater, someone stronger, someone who has been refined by the fire of adversity. Every setback, every disappointment, every heartbreak leaves a mark, but those marks are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you endured, that you survived, that you are no longer the same person who was struck down. There is a profound truth hidden in every fall. You cannot rise without transformation. To rebuild means to create anew, not to return to what once was. Too often, people look at their setbacks and long to go back to the way things were. They think if only life could be as it was before the failure, before the betrayal, before the loss, then they would be whole again. But life doesn't work that way. You are not meant to go back. You are meant to go forward. You are meant to rise stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Think about nature. When a storm tears through a forest, some trees fall, others break, but the ones that survive grow stronger roots. They adapt, they stretch deeper into the ground, anchoring themselves so that the next storm cannot uproot them as easily. That is what happens when you rise after being broken. You dig deeper. You root yourself in strength you didn't know you had. You stretch into resilience that was dormant until the storm awakened it. Rising stronger means carrying with you the lessons you learned in the valley. It means refusing to ignore the wisdom that pain offered you. Every mistake, every rejection, every struggle carved something into you, something permanent, something valuable. And when you rise carrying those lessons. You rise with eyes that see more clearly, with a heart that feels more deeply, with a spirit that is unshakable. Strength is not born in the moments of ease. Strength is born in the moments of trial. When everything is smooth, when life is comfortable, you don't test your limits. You don't stretch beyond what's familiar. But when life throws you into chaos, when you're forced to face the fire, that's when you discover what you're made of. And once you've been through that, once you've faced the storm and come out standing, you are no longer fragile. You are no longer afraid of the winds, because you know you've survived worse. Rising stronger also means breaking free from the illusion of perfection. When you've been broken, you realize that perfection doesn't exist. You stop chasing an image of flawlessness, and instead you begin to embrace authenticity. You begin to understand that scars are not ugly, they are beautiful. They are reminders of where you've been, proof that you endured, evidence that you are still here. They make you human, and they make you strong, and there's something remarkable that happens when you rise stronger. You begin to inspire others. Your strength becomes a light for those still in darkness. Your resilience becomes hope for those still struggling. You show them that it is possible to go through the fire and emerge not just alive, but more alive than ever. Your story becomes a message. If I can rise, so can you. If I can survive the breaking, so can you. But rising stronger is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about refusing to settle for merely getting back on your feet. It's about deciding that because of what you've endured, you will now live bolder, love deeper, dream bigger. Setbacks have a way of stripping away what doesn't matter. They remind you of how fragile life can be, how quickly things can change. And when you rise with a renewed clarity of what truly matters. You stop wasting time on things that drain you. You stop chasing approval. You stop living small. You step into your power because you know how precious life is, and you refuse to waste it. The person who rises after being broken is not the same person who fell. Before the setback, you may have doubted yourself, questioned your worth, listened to the voices that said you weren't enough. But once you've been through pain, once you've rebuilt yourself piece by piece, you realize something profound. You are stronger than you ever knew. You are more capable than you ever believed. You carry within you a power that cannot be taken away, no matter what life throws at you. Sometimes it takes being broken to discover your strength. Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize what you truly need. Sometimes it takes being stripped bare to understand who you really are. And once you've risen from that place, nothing can shake you in the same way again. You've already seen the worst, and you've already survived. What can possibly stop you now? Rising stronger also means embracing change. You cannot rise while clinging to the past. You cannot rebuild while holding on to what was. To rise, you must let go. You must release the weight of regret, the chains of resentment, the burden of what could have been. Rising stronger requires surrender. It requires trusting that the future holds something better than what was lost. And it requires stepping forward into that future with courage, even when you don't know what it holds. There is beauty in the rebuilding process. At first, it feels overwhelming. You see the broken pieces scattered all around you, and you wonder how you'll ever put them back together. But as you begin to rebuild, you realize you're not putting the pieces back in the same way. You're creating something new, you're shaping a stronger foundation, a more resilient structure, you're becoming someone greater. That's why rising stronger is not about going back to who you were, it's about becoming who you were meant to be. The version of you that emerges after the storm is someone who has faced adversity and refused to bow down, someone who has walked through the fire and come out unburned, someone who has been broken, but instead of staying shattered, chose to rebuild into something unshakable. The world has a way of underestimating those who have been broken. People may look at you and see your scars, your past, your setbacks, but what they don't see is the fire inside you, the resilience you've built, the strength that now flows through your veins. They don't realize that those who have been broken and risen again are the most unstoppable of all, because you know what it feels like to fall, and you know you can survive it. Fear no longer has a grip on you, because you've already faced the worst and lived to tell the tale. Rising stronger also means embracing gratitude. When you've lost and regained, when you've been broken and rebuilt, you begin to appreciate the little things. You see beauty where others overlook it. You find joy in places you once ignored. Gratitude flows naturally because you know what it feels like to have nothing, and now you treasure everything, and that gratitude fuels your strength, making you even more unshakable. There is a quiet confidence that comes with rising stronger. It's not arrogance, it's certainty. Certainty that you can handle whatever comes. Certainty that even if life knocks you down again, you'll rise again, stronger than before. It's the kind of confidence that cannot be faked, because it's born only through experience, and it radiates from you, touching everyone around you. Every storm leaves behind destruction, but it also leaves behind lessons. Every setback leaves behind pain, but it also leaves behind growth. And every time you rise carrying that wisdom with you. You become more than just a survivor. You become a warrior. You walk into each new challenge not with fear, but with faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your strength, faith in your ability to rise, no matter how many times you fall. So when life knocks you down, don't rise with bitterness. Don't rise with regret. Rise with purpose. Rise with vision. Rise with the determination to live stronger, love deeper, and shine brighter. Let every scar remind you of your strength. Let every setback remind you of your resilience. And let every rise remind you that no matter what happens, you are always capable of becoming greater than before. Because the version of you that rebuilds is not the same as the one that was broken. You are not who you were before the storm. You are stronger, you are wiser, you are unstoppable, and nothing can take that away from you.